Good day. My name is Peter Mutanga from Mangosuthu University of Technology in South Africa. I'll be giving you a talk on lecturers' reflections on online teaching, specifically in higher education. This is a talk inspired by the changes in the delivery of classes as a result of COVID-19, the COVID-19 pandemic. This is my presentation outline, and as we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected us, or has affected the world in so many ways. One important aspect that has changed, I think, to all of us is the limited physical interactions amongst people. In education, or in higher education in particular, this has resulted in the adoption of online learning, because we couldn't use the face-to-face, the traditional face-to-face learning. Consequently, the online learning resulted in sudden changes, things that we never anticipated in higher education. And as a result, poorly resourced institutions suffered because they were not prepared to have infrastructure to support both the lecturers and the staff members to make online learning a reality. So as a result of all these changes, there are a lot of questions that comes to mind. For instance, were the lecturers prepared? Were the academic institutions prepared for this? One would also want to ask a rhetorical question: how effective is online learning? Also, given the fact that we are considering students that never experienced this, and what are the student experiences or student learning experiences in online learning? How does it compare with physical learning? All these are things that come up as a result of these new changes. In this paper, however, we concentrate on lectures. In this paper, lectures reflect on these experiences. So we only, in this work, we only concentrate on lecturers who teach within the ICT department of our institution, and we interviewed all the lecturers, which are 20 of them, and the kind of data we gathered was all qualitative. No quantitative data was gathered. So it was all interviews, and we also made some follow-up interviews. So with all the information that is transcribed, we then performed a thematic analysis to analyze the results. We took everything and we categorized the findings into themes. So I'm just going to share with you some of the findings that we got from this exercise. Most lecturers found out that it's very difficult to engage with students on online classes, to get them to get their attention and to get them to follow things the way they normally do in a physical class. For instance, you would ask questions, you want to engage students, you'd get less participation than you would get in a physical class. Probably because of this lack of that personal touch that you have in a physical class. Another observation was also student absenteeism. Some lecturers reported that class attendance dropped to as low as 30% from as high as 70% when doing physical classes. This could probably be attributed to the fact that students would know anyway that even if I'm absent, I can always go and view the recorded class. Another thing that we found out as well is lecturers did point to the fact that the teaching methods that are required in online classes are totally different from physical classes. So they had to come up with innovative ways of teaching and assessment and so on and so forth. Another observation was also that it was difficult for students to adjust to online classes. Some of the rules, the rules that apply in physical classes do not apply in online classes. In online classes, you have to mute your mic, only raise your mic, or unmute your mic if you're talking, and also the issue of switching off videos and so on and so forth. Some students did not, it took some time for them to really adjust. Lecturers also pointed out to the fact that it's difficult to prepare for an online class. You need different type of lecture preparation, and also one thing was the issue of the duration of the class. It was found out that classes that are long are very difficult to follow for the students, and so on and so forth. So after we gathered all this, we then did our own analysis and tried to predict what would the future of higher education be like, based on all these observations and what the lecturers have shared. For instance, we envisage that in future, there's going to be a higher investment in technology infrastructure from most institutions. They're going to pour a lot of more money into that, other than the traditional libraries, for instance. And we also envisage that universities are going to increase in classes, increase their class numbers, because we envisage a multimodal sort of teaching and learning delivery, and that would allow for the increase in classes. And online learning is forced us to come up, or lecturers to come up with diverse forms of assessment, and we also envisage that these forms of assessment are going to stay even if COVID-19 is something of a past. Due to the increased number of classes, we also envisage a reduction in the cost of education, cost of higher education, and this may also be inspired by the acceptance of online courses. COVID-19 and the online classes have sort of driven us towards accepting online classes and the emergence of online universities more than we used to do before. People never used to accept these online courses the way they are going to be accepting them in future. And this is all has been driven or made possible by the fact that people now are forced to learn online. So consequently, they are now forced to even accept the qualifications that come from such an experience. In conclusion, I would say COVID-19 has shaped the socio-economic landscape. In essence, it has changed a lot of things due to the limited interaction that people now forced to be in. It's the lockdowns have resulted in the adoption of online learning, and when this happened, a lot of institutions were not prepared, whether in terms of infrastructure or the skills and so on and so forth. They were not prepared to do that. So as a result, online learning brought a lot of unseen challenges that lecturers had to cope with. And because of those challenges and the new things that are coming up, we envisage that higher education will actually transform post-COVID-19. There are a lot of things that are going to continue even after the pandemic has ended. It is thus important for academic institutions to prepare for this transformation. There's going to be a lot of competition within that arena. For instance, the online universities are going to compete very much with the traditional universities, and if academic institutions are not prepared for this transformation, they may find themselves losing students to online-based academic institutions, because definitely we're going to see a lot of uptake in terms of acceptance of these online courses by employers. So it is thus imperative for academic institutions and even the students themselves to prepare themselves for this particular transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll end here. I thank you very much.